Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry the Movies with your host, Jerry-Saravia. So today I'm going to talk about digital conversion, digital projectors in movie theaters. There was an article in the Baltimore Sun called Theaters Face Death by Digital. And essentially the film's technology price might doom old movie houses. Now, there are still some movie theaters out there that have reel-to-reel film projectors, actual film. These are the ones that have to convert to digital projectors. And the villain is the technology, as they say in this article, by Joe Williams of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And it says, movie studios are replacing reels of celluloid film with hard drives that are cheaper for them to ship and are compatible with lucrative 3D technology. Now, the digital conversion, as they state here, will benefit moviegoers with consistently bright images and state-of-the-art sound. In the next few months, theaters that don't purchase the expensive digital projectors might be forced out of business because the conversion costs about $50,000 per theater. Now, it states that a lot of the big theater chains have converted. Landmark chain of art house theaters will be completely digital by the end of this year. Smaller operations are checking their bank accounts because, of course, this is a little expensive. So the irony is, this is supposed to be cheaper in the long run, as far as running it, I guess, a digital projector as opposed to a reel-to-reel film projector. But still, it's a costly conversion. Now, Steve Bloomer, who runs the Skyview Drive-In in Belleville, Illinois, said that he had been consulted with his lender, and that most of America's 400 remaining drive-ins are seasonal operations with small profit margins. And Bloomer estimates that 1/4 of them will close forever instead of buying the digital projectors, because again, they're costly. Now, he noted something here that was a little bit troubling, and I want to give you a little backstory on this from my experience. I had used to live in near Port Jefferson, New York, and there's a small little theater there called Theater 3, which had plays, and in addition, they also ran these movies, 16mm prints. And I used to actually go in there as a volunteer and help out every Monday night, which is when they had these 16mm prints that they would run through. So this was back in 1998, so we ran films like Smoke Signals, and Orson Welles' at that time was the 40th anniversary of Touch of Evil, things of that nature. Now, it was difficult procuring these 16mm prints and a little pricey, but that's what we did. Now, having said that, they did eventually switch to digital projection, Theater 3. Now, Steve Bloomer, noted that when he wanted to screen the Rocky Horror Picture Show for last year's Halloween marathon, he discovered that there were only 5 physical prints of the movie available to theaters. Let's go over that one more time. 5 physical prints. Film prints, not digital. As with most old titles, hundreds of copies had been destroyed to clear space on distributors' shelves. So, sometime in the near future, theaters that do not convert to digital will not have the option to show classic movies. The most pressing deadline, according to this article, is September 30th, the last date for theaters to join studios' virtual print fee, or known otherwise as VPF. And that program reimburses theater owners if they agree to pay play a certain number of new digital releases per year. This is just absolutely ridiculous. For me, a film should be run through a projector. It should be film to film. If it was shot on film, it should be shown that way. But the other issue here, and I've discussed this before in a previous show in regards to Martin Scorsese, and the fact that he had to, he is now will be shooting The Wolf of Wall Street, So we're talking now on August 24th, just for the proper context. But he will be shooting The Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio on video, digital video. High definition video, it's still video. And he had, which I had not been aware of or forgotten, being a Scorsese enthusiast, amazing that I forgot, that he shot Hugo in digital video as well, because for the 3D conversion. Same thing with James Cameron and Avatar. So the fact is that a lot of the filmmakers, most of them, have now switched to digital. So a lot of films are being shot in high definition video because, alas, the digital projectors will make it easy to make these films appear on screen. So the days of reel-to-reel are going to be gone. I mean, that will be it. And especially if only 5 physical prints of the Rocky Horror Picture Show exist. So this is it. This is the end of it. I mean, what else can you do? You know, it's funny to me, back in 1999, when the Blair Witch Project was criticized for having a micro budget, and, oh, anybody could just do this. And, well, you know, you just shoot it on video. It's like being shot in someone's backyard. Well, but that film was also shot in 16mm film and transferred to film and shown on printed film to film reels. So, you know, the expense of making an independent film at one time was the fact that if you wanted to get shown in a theater, you had to convert to film, even if you shot on video. Now, it's not going to matter. So the cost is less technically for the distributors, but not for the exhibitors. And that's the issue. So it's a real shame. It's, you know, I don't even know what to make of all this, because there are so many films from the past that went through great lengths to shoot something on film. But this film is just a special quality, and the only people that can understand it is just those who look back and watch a lot of films. I mean, even low-grade stuff, B-movies, whatever it is. This is just not the right road to go in. That's not to say you can't shoot on video. In fact, I don't see a problem with shooting on video, technically. If you have a good story, or you have, you know, even just a good story, it can be transferred to any medium, provided that you know how to use that medium. So, I don't know. It's just very odd. And just the 5 physical prints of Rocky Horror Picture Show in existence, or at the very least, you know, in the United States, that wasn't clear. It's just shameful, you know, because Quentin Tarantino has, I forget the name of the movie theater in LA, that he bought and shows films only. I mean, shot on film, reel-to-reel films. Now, will he be affected by this? You know, I don't know. Probably nobody's going to give him too much crap about it. But he's one of the last remaining directors to really shoot on film, same as Steven Spielberg. Can't speak for Oliver Stone, but Martin Scorsese has gone the other way, and so has Peter Jackson. That's the nature of the business, unfortunately. Again, not to say you can't shoot a good story on any medium. It doesn't, I mean, in the end, it's really what you're saying and how you're saying it that matters. And but it's just sad to me that the idea still can't exist for films, reel-to-reel films. Just like Kodak is slowly disappearing. Nobody takes pictures anymore with a regular still camera that is not digital. So the days of when I remember you going to a dark room and printing film is gone. It's going away. It's withering if it hasn't already. So this is a shame. I just don't believe everything should be digital. You gotta allow some room for film there, but oh well, that's the nature of the beast. And that's all I gotta say on that subject, and rather depressing article, but hey, that's the way it goes. And this is Jerry the Movies with your host Jerry-Saravia, signing off.